Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you meet us again with Pat dangling out of a helicopter, Dave running away from danger. You know, general shit. Let's head it back over to the Alps of the far west, Midwest, wherever the fuck we are. Let's give it over to the handler.
First of all, we need to do a skill roll to see how this session will go. That is a fumble.
Yeah.
Prolapse bumhole needs to be on there.
The prolapse bumhole has been fumbled. It's definitely a sex act. So stars with me to go on. You are dangling from you are strapped in. It seems straightforward enough. The door is kicked open, and then an arm kind of, you unlatch an arm, and it comes out somewhat. Feels like very robust, a little A-frame. You've got yourself like latched on, and some little winch controls. Dave, you on the winch controls, or do you want Ozzy to who's waving and smiling? He's like, we can't wait for this. So he's like, do you want me to do the winch, or do you want to?
I'll do the winch. I'll do the winch. I don't want to feel useless.
Fine.
So if we remember rightly, I got some of the explosives, a Mac 10, because we didn't get the VP90s, which I wanted.
Yeah.
And a bit of the Kevlar armor. And I'm just being winched down very slowly by David out of a helicopter into a crash site.
Yeah. So you're he's hovering above. You need to tell me how close you're getting and like where you're going on the crash site. Are you going? And you're communicating constantly to Ozzy and David. Okay, so just talk me through what's going on.
So I'm just going lower.
Fine. I'm really good at those. You know them carnival games where you try and win a teddy bear? I can normally get one within about $30, so you're going to be fine.
Well, I'm hoping that because I'm still connected and you're not fucking off anywhere, I'll just stay connected. Even if they do fuck off, I'll just take a trip through the trees. I don't give a fuck. I'm going down. I'm going to have a quick look around because I don't want any of... I'm doing your job here. Right, let's have this right. I was like an external employee. Just because I picked up what you're fucking doing doesn't mean I should be better at it than you. You fucking idiot.
How far down can we lower him, Ozzy?
So I can get into the tree line, and with the line that you've got, I can get him onto the ground if you want.
Exactly.
I think first, let's get him like 30 foot off the ground.
Fine.
And then cut the wire.
He says to Pat, Pat, lower yourself over, dude. And he's looking. He's got a little smile on his face. And you lower yourself off, and you're like dangling off this little frame. And he very carefully goes over the crash site and then puts the helicopter into some sort of weird free fall for about 100 foot, and then stops. And I'm just checking to make sure everything's safe. Okay. I'll hold this altitude, which is about 20 foot above the tree line. It's moving up and down a little bit. It's not too bad. David, you need to lower the winch from here, and just keep visuals on him. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
You can communicate through the headset.
Cool, got that. All right, Pat, I'm going to start lowering you down now, yeah?
Cheers.
You're directly, unless you tell me otherwise, you're directly over the kind of steaming pile, which is the hot spot, so to speak.
I think we don't want to lower him into the hot spot. We want to lower him adjacent to the hot spot.
Adjacent to the hot spot. Okay, so to the nearest kind of clear bit next to the hot spot. Okay, fine.
All right.
So as you're being lowered down slowly, say you're 30 feet to start with, yeah? Is that fair?
I want to get like 30 foot off the ground. What can you see, Pat?
Some burnt-ass trees, bits of plane, and some smoke.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Most of it it looks inert to you, and the visibility is very good. Yeah.
Salty, can you keep scanning this area with the camera? Keep an eye out.
Sure. No problem.
I think we're all right with that. I think it's fucked off whichever way it'd be. I take it we're talking over comms on headsets.
Yeah.
Ozzy says there is a heat signature which is within range in the centre of the large crash pile.
Which is what I'm going down to have a look at, which I think is the remaining bounce that hasn't like mutated off.
So I'm gonna allow you another 5 feet, okay?
Pat,
Yeah, get me on the fucking floor. Put my feet on the ground. I told you can winch me up at any point. I don't give a fuck.
Okay,
Just put my feet on the fucking ground.
Okay, I'm gonna just hold the down button now aggressively.
Whoa, I don't need that much slack.
Slow down,
Dickhead.
All right, gently lower him down.
Pat, you're on the ground. You're giving him enough slack. He's a little bit like a marionette. You're giving him enough slack, but not too much. Ozzy's doing an amazing job of keeping that machine like rock solid. There's not much wind anyway, but there's a bit. He's high enough so the downforce isn't causing too much. So the downdraft isn't causing too much of an issue. You can see, Pat, on the ground that it's a crash. It's a light aircraft crash. You can see the engines have gone forwards and like smashed into the cliff face. It is destroyed beyond recognition. Other than that, you notice that some of the parts are stacked up in that they would not have landed in a neat pile. So panels are kind of like piled up. There's a couple of little piles here and there.
So bounce is sentient to the point where it tries to make itself a shelter.
These are
maybe it's just really tidy.
Maybe it's just
OCD sentient, same difference.
You don't see any blood. You don't see any remains.
That's obviously whoever went and nicked the black box recorder, right? Like someone on the forums nicked that. So
this is the weird thing, right? Well, I'm guessing the black box could be blown out. Can I see evidence of a cockpit itself, or is it just part of a middle section, engine section of a plane?
Where you think the cockpit was, it's been compressed back into itself, and is now in the central pile. Because it was such a forceful head-on crash after going through the
crash
site.
A crash, I say. We crashed.
Crash. You don't know what I was typing into Google then, you see. I was like it's typing arse. There is a noise there is kind of a rustling and a kind of a creaking inside the main pile. It's not like fire crackling. It's the smoke smells a little bit like an oil fire or like a tire fire. It sounds like there's some fuel in there, like keeping that going. Probably the tires that you imagine at this point, because anything else would have just been burnt up. There is a kind of a creaking and a moving inside the pile on your side of the pile. You can hear the panels kind of like rustling and moving out of the way a little bit, and kind of lifting up a tiny bit and then dropping down. There's no sound. There's no squeaking. There's no kind of animal noise.
So you think basically, well, my brain thought at the moment is obviously the heat from whatever's burning under the pile, the steam is escaping and pushing everything up and down. Is it that kind of thing, or is it a more?
No, it's more. It's more of a mechanical kind of movement.
I'll tell you what's going on. There's some fucking.
There's something kind of moving. There's something.
But because it's burning, it's not able to like fully bounce monster itself up, and it's keeping it in a like sort of.
That's what I'm thinking. So it's like that's what I said. The extras that were in the carry case. So what I want to do is get a big stick and flip one of the panels over so I can see the evidence of what's moving underneath.
Okay. It's quite the movement and the rustle, the kind of rustling and the I would say almost burrowing into the crash site is your side of it. You get a big cane and you prod it and
Not prod it. I'm going to lift the panel up. You said there was panels sort of
so you
up and down here. I just want to flip it over.
You flip a couple of panels over and it stops.
Okay.
You wait, and like within 5 seconds or so, it's starting again. It's a little bit deeper in the rubble and in the ash and the kind of the carnage.
Oh yeah, it ran away before like an earthworm. It tried
Right.
to fire into a little hole.
One, this is really weird because I just had a massive shot of deja vu. As a person, this conversation has happened before. And two, I have some of them incendiary firecrackers or whatever you call them, the Vietnamese fucking firecrackers, and I'm just going to start padding them into the hole.
The rustling or the movement stops while you're playing with the rubble or playing with the pile.
Yeah.
And after about 5 seconds of not doing anything with it, it's kind of starting up again. So you put some of the in. Are you using fuel as well?
No, because I left that on the fucking helicopter like a dickhead.
I see.
Yeah. It's literally something to spark it up. He's a good pilot. Don't worry about it. He hasn't got a prolapse bumhole.
So you pack a couple of incendiaries in there, and
because we've got like fucking 24 of them, I believe, from our Price is Right game.
You got a few. I think you've got not the Rubatas, but I think you've got. I think you got 6 of them between you.
No, I got 6 and he got 6. So that's at least 12, and I've just packed 2 into here.
Okay, you can both have 6.
Thank you.
All right, so you popped a couple of grenades in there, say 2 or 3 or something, into the pile.
That's right. It's there.
You've walked back, and again,
I haven't pulled the pin. I haven't done nothing. They're just there, just in case we have to drop petrol on me.
Shower with petrol.
What's called the flammable golden shower.
What on earth is going on down there, Pat? Is there anything down there?
I believe so. You remember that the thing in the caravan dug itself a hole underneath the caravan. I believe we're dealing with something like that. We're either dealing with that or something's on fire under the ground. You know, Silent Hill style, but no one knows. I was just going to sort of try and antagonize it a bit. I've got the perfect idea. I reach inside my pocket. I pull out a little jar. It's got Digit Carcetti in it. I just wave Digit Carcetti at the fucking crash site.
Digit Carcetti is more motored, more agitated than he was.
More mobile than usual.
More mobile without it. More crashed than he was when you took off. He's definitely more, but not as much as when you saw the last creature. Remember when you saw the last creature and he was going crazy?
He was going crazy, but we was right next to it. I mean, this thing. I got a funny feeling, Dave, mate. This thing might have burrowed itself well underground. Carcetti says that there's something about, whether that be me after being slapped. We don't know.
Have you tried like digging at all?
No, I'm not an idiot. Next suggestion?
Well, I mean, if you don't want to dig, then I guess you might as well just come back to the helicopter and we'll move on.
Well, I've left two. I think somehow, maybe. Do you remember the rats? Are the rats upstairs? Are the rats in the plane?
Hang on a second. I walk back and then I come back and Dave, we're in a helicopter, not a plane.
You know, same difference. Thing that goes up in the sky.
Yeah, I've got your box of rats. I think they were Vashon Island girls.
Yeah, they were Vashon Island girls. That's what the lady in the shop told me. But I don't think all of the 12 were. What I'm thinking is we put some live feed down here and see if they come up, and then I'll set off them incendiary grenades. What do you reckon?
That sounds great. There's only one problem with that plan. You're going to have to
What's that?
up.
You're going to have to what?
send the winch up.
All right, fuck it. Go on then. See if I can.
All right, so I'll retract the winch.
I unhook myself.
Yeah, and probably in reverse order. So he'll unhook himself, and then I'll retract the winch.
Yeah, not halfway up.
So you'll unhook yourself while on the ground.
Yep.
And you'll send the winch up. Okay.
Yep.
You're feeling a bit vulnerable.
I really do.
I'd actually like to know what your I wonder what your motivations are at this point. But anyway, it doesn't matter too much. So the winch
No, stop. You do want to know my motivations. My motivations was to make sure that Dave's name comes out of this 100% not tarnished.
I wonder why.
And the fact that I have lived a dangerous and horrible life and probably need to be punished. So I've said to my ma already, I'm gone, ma. Bye-bye. And I'm just happy that the terrorist organization that I made up is being blamed and Dave is a victim.
So you're just
what I have done so far has been 100% amazing. Whatever else happens from now...
You need a confession that you don't need a helicopter. So the line goes back up very quickly. Like, so you got so much control. It's like magnificent. Like it's just so intuitive. It comes straight up. You can hook on whatever you want very quickly and drop it. You can drop this down very quickly as well with a hell of a lot of control.
The cage of rats. I'm lowering down the cage of rats.
Just the cage
of rats. It's not a cage, it's just a cardboard box.
Okay, well, I'm going to put it in a bag. I'll find some sort of duffel bag.
It'll be fine. It's one of them, like, Chinese takeaway boxes. They'll be awesome.
With holes in it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll lower the rats.
Oh, shit, were they supposed to put holes in it? I didn't know. Oh, fuck. It could be a load of dead rats.
It's barely been a day. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Hope they're fine.
Yes, a day without oxygen, they'll be fine. Mammals.
They're squeaking. You can hear them. So you drop them down. Let me just see how old.
Give them a little shake before I send them down, just to get them going a bit.
One thing I think about is, Dave, is there an umbrella up there?
No.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Ozzy says yes, there is. Do you want one?
Send it up.
What the fuck are you all about?
Trust me, send an umbrella down as well.
Salty goes under his seat and he's got like a man bag, and in there is like a tiny little kind of fold away commuter umbrella, and he tosses it over to you. Somehow he's still like managing to keep this helicopter in like perfect.
Okay, I'll put that in the box with the rats and then send it down. I don't know what you want with that when pop in, but good luck.
This whole thing takes about 10 seconds, so it goes. But you whiz the stuff down in about 1 second. It's like super. It like unloads 60 foot of cable in about a second. It's like fantastic of full pelt. So the thing's weighted, so it's moving around quite a bit. But the pilot is doing Salty is doing an amazing job of keeping the line, even though there's not much weight on it, near you, Pat.
Well, I'm going to hook myself back up because I'm not an idiot. And then I'm going to put the box of rats down, open it up. They're going to flat around her a bit without getting out, but near the bit where I put the incendiary grenade, the bit that's sort of breathing.
Yeah.
I'll leave them there so that there's a smell of something to take over. And what I'm going to do is block that entire area with the umbrella so there's no sunlight on it.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to leave it like that for a moment.
Okay, so you unload the rats, and they're kind of just milling around and kind of around the area around the grenades. The movement stops, and you hear an additional kind of squeaking and an eeking, like eek, meek, meek, from underneath, and very quickly the panels underneath the panels that you'd move all the kind of stuff. Two little, well, not so little, striped, what looked like striped skunks run out from the rubble. And run off, and the rats, a couple of the rats chase them, and the rest of the rats are just milling around, not knowing what's going on because they've just experienced like 0G being dropped from Ozzy's helicopter. So he's still kind of covered in rats. There's no movement in the pile of stuff. Two skunks were probably making that movement.
Very good diversion, GM. I like it.
Not really sure what else to tell you.
That's cool.
Can you roll me an alertness, Frankie, please?
Hey! Oh shit!
Still counts. David, you're alerted to the fact that something else has been alerted to the fact that there's a lot of food in the area now. And about very quietly, about 5 foot away from Pat is a bobcat.
Look at the pussy.
And he's I don't think
completely still or move. I can't remember which one.
So this is behind Pat. Is in still head moving legs mode, and is probably 20 feet away from him, and you can see the cat moving to hunt. There's a load of rats in front of Pat. There's a couple of raccoons or skunks or whatever they are, and there's Pat in the middle of it as well.
Fucking David Attenborough, eat your eye out.
Pat,
There's a what?
there's a tiger. Well, there's a bobcat behind you. I mean, it's probably not
A
really.
what? I can't hear you. Can you say again?
It's a tree cat the size of a large dog. It's probably not that much of a threat.
A threat.
I mean,
And all I heard was
if you
threat.
just move out
Don't hear nothing.
Threat.
I'm gonna whip the Mac 10 out.
You gonna what? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I can't hear nothing.
The first cat out here. Okay, I'm
Say it
shooting.
again, mate. Say it again.
Aussie's having trouble with the flight for once. There's some kind of updraft or something that's put his flight out. You're tethered at the moment, correct, to the line.
Yeah,
I am. Yeah.
He moves and it pulls you over. There's enough slack in it to like not drag you too far, but it knocks you over. So you're prone at the moment, and you've got Frankie garbling something in your ear, and you don't really know what he's saying. David, what are you doing? You've got a prone colleague surrounded by rats and a bobcat behind you.
yeah. I've seen what's going on. I'm going to take a little snapshot at the bobcat with the Mac 10. Try and fend it off.
Bye, Pat. Let's finish testing your paddy and nuts. Let's go, Archie. Pat, son. You're about to get shot.
So
It's revenge for Rex. I get it.
Go for it. Short burst her. I forget actually what has that got a short burst. That has got a okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Roll me a D10 then, buddy. So you lean instead of instead of doing whatever any sane-minded person would do, instead of lifting
And just bring up the fucking winch
you
like
go-
anyone else in the fucking planet. You just went and just fucking shot some cat. Like, your brrr is supposed to be saved for the big fucking cow thing. And like, all you had to do was press a fucking button that we know when she's up at a rate of fucking knots because of the rats and everything else. Like, literally, it was the choice of big or brrr. Yeah, I'm an excellent shot when it comes to a fucking dog.
I think the reaction is the bobcat is like shredded with 3 bullets, and it's like lying there whimpering, kind of crying, and it like, breathes its last breath. The most majestic creature in the Montana
It's not
forests.
a fucking snow leopard. Get over it.
Trying to make David feel bad. Yeah, and it like lifts its one paw up to the sky to say, "Why God? Why cat God? Why?" And then goes. All the rats run off, and Pat. Well, you saw the reaction. There's nothing on your cameras to suggest there's anything kind of particularly weird going on. There's nothing to you guys that suggests there's anything particularly weird going on so far.
Well, then I flick a match down to the fucking incendiary grenades and set them off anyway, as I'm being winched up in my helpless state.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's just burn the fucking area to death.
So you pull up and pull away, and I think there was a lot of the ground. The crash didn't cause it. Doesn't look as though it caused a huge fire because I think the ground was soaked in jet fuel. I think this was just a blunt instrument of a crash, and the whole of the site goes up again, and there's a huge mushroom cloud of black smoke. Ozzy tails away, knowing what you're doing. Dave pulls you up as you go as well. You're holding onto your stomach for dear life, and holding onto your Mac 10 as well, which I assume is strapped around you. Is it?
Yeah, they've got like a nice handbag strap on them.
Else you're going to roll me a dex.
I'll roll the dex. I'm not holding it gangster style.
I've got the shoulder strap on.
Yeah, because you're a pussy.
I can't wait to go spinning away towards the crash site.
Trust me, I'm gangster.
What? That's the next.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you are gangster.
Yeah.
You like basically.
I swear I'm gangster. I'm waving it above my head in circles, going, "Yeah, California style."
You don't know what to take from this. The one thing that really stands out is that there was
Bounce was dead in the area. Well, I say Bounce was dead in the area. We have misconstrued Bounce for fucking skunks or raccoons or whatever the DM says that it is this time round when he shows us a picture.
There was no finger activity, which is normally your barometer.
There was finger activity, that's the point. And now this is what's worrying me. Hang on. This is what's worrying me, is if there's finger activity when it's just skunks, it means it's me and you. We are now kicking off Carcetti. So is it the time to eat Carcetti? That's all I'm saying. Is it time? Do I force feed Dave Carcetti or do I eat Carcetti?
Finger activity is just going to become a casual sentence. I suggest we just crash his helicopter into the ground now.
I'm up for it. I mean, I've got nowhere to go. I protected your name, and that's the only reason I did it. So, like, if you're going to fucking waste all of that protection I gave you, fuck you.
I'm not. I just didn't realize that, like, I thought we were going to find something on the crash site, and we didn't. Salty, if you could just take us, like, you see the direction that we think this thing is going in, right? Can we just zoom towards the end of that? I don't want to, I think we're wasting time here, essentially. This thing has moved on.
We're wasting time. That's one of our fucking fortes, isn't it?
So, Salt is like, yeah, sure, boss, no problem. So, he's saying, like, do you want to like plot a course? Do you want to plot a course from where we're at the moment out and kind of like follow in almost a programmed line something like that, or
Yeah, that's
Well, I'm guessing as soon as that was pre-made, then yeah, something like that. But
yeah.
maybe
That
we
is
should.
stuff.
no,
It-
nothing was pre-made. I made all these, you fuckers.
Maybe we should have the heat sensor and the infrared sensor tuned to Dr. Shell's thing, and then follow this line and see where we go. Because
Sorry,
obviously we're gonna.
Is
One
there
more thing. Shut up, you Columbo motherfucker. That's
Is there-
3 times you've tried to be Columbo this fucking episode. And I tell you what, it's grating on me.
I just want to know if there's a meal service in flight. Like, do we get to? Is there a lunch option? Do we?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's know. Let's see if let's see if he's prepared anything. No, sorry. I've got a packed lunch for myself. I figured that.
Surely we get to play the Surely we get to play the game again.
Opens up his own lunchbox. He just got like a sandwich and an apple. Just like
It's a revolver with one bullet in it.
It's one of them little Lady Gaga apples as well, like they're tiny, like something gone.
Let me get this back on track. So, you flight path. I trying to preempt everything that you fucking do. Fortunately, we've had a couple of like dead sessions. So, and like I said, I didn't know that I prepared the opening screen again. So I was trying to preempt what you might do, but
well, that didn't work, did it?
Not at all. No. What's this? Oh, what's that? Okay.
I just realised we lost our rats.
They will come home when they want to.
This is Ozzy has prepared a flight path. Now there's enough range in this thing. This machine can go and he explains he's got an auxiliary fuel tank as well, so it can double the range. So don't you worry about that, boys. So he programs a flight path and shows you on the screen what the fuck is going on. Now that little red box corresponds to the image that was shown on the forums of Phenomenon X, which is this thing down here. So where it says 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, which are the dates of cattle mutilations, that is the rectangle above. So you've got like a larger map of where things are.
So hang on, stop. So the soldier we think that Bounce is procured from lived where? In which city?
Oh, good shout.
So he's trying to get home. Although he's been mutated and everything else, and he's taking on other stuff, or her, or him, or whatever the fuck his name was, he's now heading cross country trying to go back to where the last of his memories think where he is.
Pat, you could have been a detective, you know that.
Could have been, but they're all cunts, so I am a criminal.
That's true.
But yeah, thinking that's probably the ins and outs of it all, and that's what we probably should be looking at. Maybe we get back onto OCell and ask them where Mr. Flimby Flam comes from.
What was his name again with O's?
The other thing is obviously he's heading back across east, so he could come from New Jersey, which then makes Mr. Crispy a relative rather than just a annoying reporter. No one knows.
So, are you getting in touch with OCell?
Yeah.
I think this might be the end of our evening. let's get in touch with OCEL and see if they know where Mr. Bounce comes from.
As a precursor to that, I'm going to just give you this very quickly. This is you call OCEL and Oscar says, sorry, you call and Oliver answers and he says Oscar's got something. Bear with, we'll message it over. It's probably not what you want though. So you wait, and within like a couple of minutes, you get a little text message, which I'm just uploading to the Delta Green database now, which says this. I know. The tension is unbearable. I just ran out of space on roll 20. I've like exceeded.
Like clicking like a metronome.
Can you read that?
Yeah, put it down a little bit. It's clipping.
Right, I'm just going to make that a bit smaller so you can see.
Yeah.
I got it. Daniel Yulee, which is the geezer.
Yeah.
And then it says REL self, ID white female, date of birth 47. Harold? 1st of the 6th, 1947 to 16th of the 2nd, 1992. Substantial facial injury, unknown. SAP classification. SAP classification 1.4.
Sack.
Secret.
Sack.
No, I said SAP. Shut up. / majestic Orcon FOU. Followed by LOD. High Point Special Facility. HPS. Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center, Virginia. LNA 6781 Danford.
Montana, right?
Basically, it's the Special Containment Unit section. So, Special Containment Unit section classified SAP means that it's larger than they can actually hold. Special Containment Unit section means it's fatal if someone's contained a fatal injury under the reason unknown. Orcon FOU, I am well out of. I have no fucking idea. High Point Special Facility means that it's still alive. And that can mean from fucking 100 years ago to now. Mount Weather, Virginia, blah, blah,
You're
blah.
not making any sense right now.
Really? Special Containment Facility. You know, and the whole thing of Men in Black, Special Containment Facility or Special Containment Unit. There's a whole group of people, or there's a whole conspiracy theory about people holding things in certain areas that could have been going on for thousands of years, and it's all a little bit connected to that, but with there's some GPS coordinates.
But here, hang on. There's something important here, though, right? We're looking at
married. So you've actually married off something that was special containment. So Theobald Greaves himself might have been in. I don't know. Like the point is that he has been a soldier, so and so on, that's been connected to something in special containment facility.
Yeah, I understand that.
No. Now he's dead. He has become the special containment facility.
Yeah, no. Well, no, that doesn't make that doesn't make any sense. Listen, we started this whole trawl through the information looking for an address, right? So if you look at his last known address, yeah, it's not the same as his wife's last known address.
No, of course not. Well, my dad's is not the same as mine. What's your problem? The biggest problem you've got here is the
So,
fact
wait,
that you're using Daniel as experiment number one. The fact is, when you started using him as experiment number one, he has had a son since then, which means son number one is now also going to be a problem later on down the line. And no one at any point in their code names has ever looked at where Daniel or where son White Male Malcolm is. So the fact that you've got and the fact that the widow Isabella has been done before he actually died. Yeah, you're fucked up, man. It's all fucked up. The point is, we're not here for that. We're here to blow shit up and look good.
Wait a second. So he never saw his son, right? His son was born after he died, right? So he wouldn't know anything about his son.
Possibly. Maybe that's where he's going. Last night, Montana.
Well,
Where's Montana to where we are?
But that's what
To be
I'm saying.
fair, where is Montana to where we are?
His son because he didn't know his son existed. He died before his son was born.
All right, I'll tell you what, this is really not important to people viewing. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to end an episode right here because it's going to just involve me, the handler, and Frankie arguing. And we'll get back to you, ladies and gentlemen, or fan, or wherever you are that is watching. Maybe in 1,000 years you'll find a disk drive with all this on it. If you're watching it, we're finished. Remember, don't go outside. You know.
Don't have nightmares. Thank you.
All right, say goodbye, everyone. Fuck them.
Bye.